Welcome back. We've got some breaking news. The Interior Department's Inspector General has just released its report on that violent clearing of protesters outside the White House in Lafayette Square Park on June 1st of last year. That infamous photo op of the former president holding a Bible, the forceful clearing of protesters at the height of the national protests to George Floyd's murder, happened just minutes before President Trump arrived for that infamous photo op. So joining me now with details on what we learned in the report is our own Ken Dilanian. So Ken, like everything, I think considering what happened on January 6th, Lafayette Square that day certainly looks like it was certainly a bit of a foreshadowing experience, sadly. But what did we learn?
Chuck, this is a really surprising finding by the Inspector General of the Interior Department. They took a look at this, an independent investigation, and they found that the decision to clear the park made by the park police had nothing to do whatsoever. They found no evidence that it had anything to do with the president's decision to have a photo op and walk through there and have a photo op at the nearby historic church. They had decided, the park police, to clear that park of protesters hours before, according to this report, so a contractor could install some anti-scale fencing. And that decision was made irrespective of what Trump decided to do. In fact, there's a moment in this report where we've all seen on video the Attorney General walks into that park and speaks with the park police incident commander. We couldn't hear from the video what was being said. According to this report, Barr then informs the park police that the president is coming down, and the park police commander is shocked by this. And he says, according to this report, "Are you freaking kidding me?" Now, the thing about that episode is it does show that Barr seemed to be trying to speed it up. Once Trump made the decision to come through there, Barr went down and sort of said, hey, let's get this thing moving. But the decision to use force against those protesters, which remains controversial, Chuck, was not made, according to this report, because Trump wanted a photo op. Now, I should also add, Chuck, that this report finds some fault with the way that operation was undertaken. For example, it finds that the park police wasn't going to use tear gas, but Washington, D.C. officers did fire tear gas at the crowd. It finds that many members of the crowd did not hear the 3 warnings they were supposed to get to disperse before the police moved in, and it finds that Bureau of Prisons officers, who nobody was even understood why they were there, fired pepper balls at the crowd. But it doesn't second guess the decision to clear the protesters. It says that the park police was within their rights. And this is controversial, Chuck. Black Lives Matter is suing the Justice Department in federal court over this. And our own Garrett Hake was there that day and reported, if you recall, that the protests were not violent at that moment until the police moved in and caused the violence. That was his direct bird's eye reporting, Chuck. So this remains an issue of controversy, but the narrative we thought we knew is not the reality.